Hello everyone, this is Bryant with Amusement Source Media, and the next stop on our roller coaster road trip is here in Des Moines, Iowa at Adventureland. So we went to the Adventureland in Long Island, but this is the Adventureland of Des Moines, Iowa, and this year they are celebrating their 50th anniversary. Adventureland is home to 7 roller coasters. They have, based off of what I read, 50 water rides and attractions. So this is a jam-packed place full of all kinds of things to do, and we're excited to give you the full tour and review of Adventureland. So let's check it out. We made our way into this little front area, and there's all kinds of fun little like Main Street buildings. You've got a classic carousel front and center. The buildings roll all the way around this way, and then right up here you can get on the train, which I think we're gonna have to do at some point today, but for now we're gonna keep on rolling. As we come down this main thoroughfare here, you've got all kinds of fun building fronts and facades. And it looks like the little centerpiece up here is a swing ride. But a lot of these up here are shops. It looks like there's like a diner over here. It looks really cool in there. And then looks like they're getting ready for the Phantom Fall Fest, which is their Halloween event. They've got a little setup up here. I love the way some of these places are branded. Like the Sweet Boutique has a very big kind of pop to it. And as we round this bend, so many flowers. Lots of trees, which is nice because last couple of days we haven't had a lot of trees, even though the weather's been great, but it's always nice to have some shade for sure. Looks like this big swing ride that they have here front and center is called the Rockin' Rainbow, which makes sense because it's got a rainbow paint scheme there on the top. And then as we move on, you run into Drachen Falls and the Flying Viking, which are some of their newer rides, a water ride and a little family roller coaster. Right, y'all, we just got off of the Flying Viking, and it's a really fun little family coaster, nice and smooth, fit really nice in the train, so highly recommend. As we move on this way, it looks like they've got some bumper cars, the Frantic Freeway. And then over here to the left is the Underground, which is like an indoor roller coaster of some sort. So not really going to be able to show it to you, but we'll talk about it once we get off. All right, we just rode the Underground, which is the indoor, it's It's like a wooden roller coaster, not any crazy drops or anything, but it has a fun kind of like spooky, ominous storyline. But the ride itself is not intense. It's very unique, very fun, and I think I'm gonna have to ride that again. It was, there's cool elements in the pre-show. I showed you just like a tiny bit of how that room looked, but then the whole ride, you know, you've got like your animatronics and your lighting effects and all of that. It's a lot of fun, a very creative ride. As we round the corner here, you got like an old school children's flat ride. Ooh, Interstate Hamptons. And then right ahead of us, we've got the Dragon Flyer, which is an SNS 4D free spin. But it's a little bit different than like what you would see at Six Flags. A little bit smaller of a layout. So as y'all saw, that was just as crazy as the bigger ones, like what you would see at Six Flags. But my ride experience, I rode on the Squire side. There's like a Knight and a Squire side. It wasn't that bad. I didn't even do a full flip, which I know some people really want to flip around, but I am perfectly fine with the ride experience I got. So of course we've got the Dragon Slayer over there. Once you kind of backtrack from the Dragon Slayer, things get a little more mild. You've got just like a little boat ride, and then behind that, a little tilt-a-whirl. Next up is the Monster, which is this big green monstrosity of twists and turns and flips and beyond vertical drops. Let's do it. We just rode the Monster, which is this big green monstrosity behind me, and you know, I was a little worried about it. It's one of those vertical lift roller coasters, but from Gerstlauer, one of their infinity coasters, but it was a ton of fun. The first drop has a crazy amount of ejector air. You've got lap bar restraints, so you don't have any uncomfortable over the shoulder. It's got a lot of stalls in it with inversions, but there are some really good little pops of airtime, and it's pretty smooth. It's a really fun, but definitely an intense ride. We've actually backtracked back up to the front because there's like a little side pathway, and we'll head this way, and then I think we'll work our way back around through the back of the park. First thing you see when you come this way is the Ferris wheel, and it's got quite the line already. But it is one of the first things you can get to when you come into the park. I noticed over here that there is a children's ride. I think this is a Crazy Couch, but it is, it's bacon themed. Is there anything better than this? Shaken bacon. Oh my gosh. They're shaking their bacon. Oh no. As we continue on, it looks like they've got some old Philadelphia Toboggan Company teacups. Really cool retro building and sign. Not quite open right now. That's okay. I smell corn. I smell like popcorn and other corn products. There's also a funnel cake stand. It's probably that sweet corn stand over there. I heard corn's a big thing here. Oh, they got a place called Oinks. Pork chop on a stick. Breaded pork tenderloin. All right, now we're getting into the interesting food over here, huh? So even though we've wrapped our way around the other side, you can see you kind of end up over by Flying Viking and Drachen Falls again. It's just kind of like a big loop, but there is some other stuff going on over here. Seems like they have just like a greenhouse setup right here in the park, so you can kind of see how things are done with all of the beautiful plants they have. Right beyond that, they've got a ride called Parachutes, which looks kind of like a old school paratrooper ride. Yeah, super old school looking. As we continue on, you run into another one of the bigger roller coasters here. This is called the Phoenix. It is a spinning roller coaster. It's got quite a wait right now. I think we're gonna have to come back to this one because we've got so much more to see through here. And hopefully once the park kind of spreads out a little bit, it won't be so bad. But yeah, there's like a whole crazy other section down here. Made our way down this pathway. They got a children's ride called the Ladybug. You've got your classic Scrambler. And then if you look even beyond the Scrambler, you've got like a little frog themed children's ride back there too. Kind of, you know, the thing you see in every park, but over here you definitely don't see classic stuff like this in every park. So really fun little children's rides. We're rounding the way and you've got your standard convoy ride themed to Bernie, which I'm going to say is the mascot, because you also have Bernie's doghouse over here. Then right in front of us, you've got a Kiddie drop tower here. It's a really cool theme. It's like a lighthouse. Oh, it's called Lighthouse. How fitting. Going over a bridge, you can see the Tornado wooden coaster back there, and Dragon Slayer, which is what we rode earlier. It's very peaceful over here too. Swing around, got a little fountain feature over here. Looks like we've got some games of skill coming up and a ride called Bernie's Swing. Some of these the rides at the park are kind of just like built into the structures. I noticed that on Main Street the structures were closed, but they had some like smaller flat rides in some of those Main Street looking shops. This one's called Flying Tigers. And the aforementioned Bernie's Swing is over here. Thing is cool, it's very carnival-ish looking. More games of skill here and more water features down this way. So you can see some remnants of some coaster down here. I want to know in the comments below if you're familiar with Adventureland, what roller coaster used to come through here that was taken out. Continuing on, you come into the Outlaw Gulch area, which has like a frisbee ride called the Sidewinder over there. You've got a little kiddie Ferris wheel called the Chuck Wagon. Oh, it's going. Here we go. Enjoy, everyone. They're gonna be busy. Oh no. Oh man. They hid some of the interesting things here in the back. You got like they have some really interesting food here. So there's like a cheese curd burger. Y'all saw what we saw earlier. That's very interesting, honestly. So, but back here we've got the Sawmill Splash, which is like a raft slide ride, but in a dry park. You don't see a lot of these anymore. Oh, do I want to do this? I don't know, y'all. I feel like there's some potential to like really get wet on this. Right next to the Sawmill Splash, you have Outlaw, which is one of the park's wooden coasters. Here they come down that first drop. This is definitely one of those you can't really see the track. It's kind of hidden back in the trees back there away from the pathways. Actually, if you go to the water park here, you might be able to see it. I do see some water park attractions back that way. We have finished our rides on both Outlaw and Sawmill Splash. Sawmill Splash is a lot of fun, but I do have a very wet butt after it. It does a lot of spinning, but it's a really unique ride. And Outlaw, pretty fun little layout. Nice and tight and action-packed turns and such. Not super rough, but few bumps here and there. But a fun little layout for sure. We've backtracked up to the front because that little gulch area was kind of a dead end, but this is another one of those things I was talking about where they just have like a ride inside the arcade room. This is called G-Force. It's like a breakdance ride. And then you swing this way and it's like games and stuff. And then if we walk out those doors over there, we're back on that kind of main street thoroughfare with all the shops. Just gonna head into the candy shop and take a look. Okay, so it's got like fudge and oh, they've got flavored popcorn though. That's pretty fun. And then there's a really cool diner off that way. This is much more of like what you would expect a theme park candy store in here. All right, we're leaving this little Main Street area again. So there's the Frantic Freeway that we pointed out earlier. They've got the circus balloons, which are like it's like a Samba tower without the tower. That's interesting. Got a Midway game over here. And then it looks like we've got a tall swing ride that we will come up on here pretty soon. We've come up on a little Iowa beer and wine pavilion here and got some live music going on.
I'm going to take a short break, be back for a
Get you a drink, sit in the shade, enjoy some music.
There's more music coming.
We've got Petunia the pig here, which is helping Adventureland celebrate their 50th anniversary. This pig has been painted gold with the 50th logo on it, and you can learn all about Petunia on the sign there. And that swing tower I was telling you about is called the Storm Chaser. Great way to see the whole park and the surrounding area for sure. And my goodness, there's the man himself, Bernie the dog, the mascot of Adventureland, out here meeting the kids. Oh my goodness. Hello, Bernie. As we round past the little meet and greet for Bernie, you've got another Games Midway and the entrance to Tornado, which is the classic wooden coaster you can see going up the lift hill up there. All right, folks, we just rode the Tornado, which means we have one more roller coaster left to ride here at Adventureland. Tornado was a lot of fun, just kind of like your classic out and back wooden coaster. It did have the same train setup as Outlaw, so your buzz bars, with a little bar in between. Pretty cozy for me, but a little bit of a smoother ride than Outlaw. So on our way to get that one final coaster ride in at Phoenix, we stopped off right across from the Tilt-A-Whirl at Cookies and Cream. Check this out. You can get a whole bucket of cookies. Just what I need. I need a whole bucket of cookies. All right, folks, we were kind of hoping the Lion would go down here to ride Phoenix, which is a spinning roller coaster. It looks kind of long, but the sun is starting to go down, so we're just going to have to wing it. Here we go. Once again, we find ourselves back up here in this little front area. And of course, we've got the train. So I think that's going to be a great way to end our day here at Adventureland.
It doesn't go fast. Mom, you can go with us too.
They're making it work, and everyone's so.
Just going on those little pups.
Yeah, and then spikes up with a little airtime hill on the spike.
Oh, there.
Yeah, a while. It was very clearly technically but it was fun until it wasn't.
Okay, so the blue one, the yellow one, the green one, the black one.
So interesting.
We're not doing
Fire in the hole.
We're doing the ones I want to do.
No, that was very interesting. 3.5. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, we make sure Condor made the decision to go to Outlaw. So great.
You guys rent a car and you drive around?
Yeah, so it was a whirlwind. We took a cruise time, and it's right when our event would be, and they try to rotate the event to Houston and Central Texas and Dallas like pretty evenly, and there's nowhere else in Houston. So.
All right, everyone, that does it for this look at Adventureland here in Altoona, Iowa. We had a really fun time. It's a very classic, cool theme park with tons of rides. And you've got your classic wooden roller coasters. You've got your newer stuff like Monster. I think my favorite ride here was probably Monster for sure. I would say, I don't know, I really liked the classicness of Tornado. So maybe Outlaw was my least favorite roller coaster. Phoenix was a really rough one for me because my legs did not really fit in the car, but for a spinning coaster, it wasn't too bad. I know we didn't really talk about it, but there's so much to do here. You saw a little bit of we got like the cookies, delicious, the food was good, and the employees were really friendly. So, you know, this would be a great place to come spend your day. If you have any questions about Adventureland, let us know in the comments below. We thank you all for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon at a theme park.